So this afternoon I was out for lunch with my really good friends Gul and Sonia, and they were asking when did we think of doing this, and they were happy that we had. So this idea was mooted about a year ago. Dr. Giri, Rajesh and I, and Dr. Guru, that we have coffee every day in Taj Mahal. That will sound familiar to many of you, if you remember your post-graduation days. And it kind of struck me that this is the 50th year since this department of ophthalmology started from the KMC side. Of course, there was a small ophthalmic department being run by the government hospital, but KMC got involved around that time. And it was kind of ironical that my father, Dr. C.R. Kamath, was the first postgraduate from this department. He was teaching there, and he also did his MS in 1973. And I felt that now I'm the HOD, it's kind of come full circle. So it's time to organize something and get everybody together. So that was the genesis of this. And I'm pleased and really, really happy that so many of you have taken the trouble to come from distant shores, from Bangalore right up to Nepal and Brisbane and the UK, and you heeded our call to be here. These are the occasions when we can get together, share a drink or two, and remember the good times that we had together. I, for one, feel very privileged to have been part of your lives and to have been part of this wonderful college and this excellent department, which has always been known, rightly I think, as a cool department. And that I think nobody will argue. Everybody's had happy times. I can hear some laughter there. So most of you who are here today, it's testimony to the fact that you all had a good time. So welcome everybody to what we hope will be 24 to 36 hours of a lot of fun. And thank you once again for having come here. Now, we want to take you back in time to the time that you were there and what's been happening in the department for the last 30, 40, 50 years. And to take us down memory lane, I call upon our former head of the department and one of our senior faculty, Dr. Gurudat Kamath.
Dr. R.H. Sudhir, fellow colleagues, all the alumnus, all the students, good evening to one and all. This is a momentous occasion having to celebrate 50th year of an institution from 1973. From the humble beginning, we have climbed all the way up the way to this with a lot of ups and downs in the department. So why does alumnus meet? Very difficult. Psychology says that you want yearning to meet your friends, maybe you want to see your teachers, or maybe you have some memories in your mind which you want to distribute and relive it. So this, whatever could be the reason. So we try to call, inform most of the people, try to inform. At least we had got 100 people, almost 100 people gathering, but some of them had various reasons. But one of them, what possible was, they said we do not, our peer groups are not there, so we don't know much about seniors and juniors, so difficult for us to gel with them. For them, this is a message of the founder, KMFI, whom we are all indebted to. When you are in Manipal, you are no longer just part of the family. So please remember this. Birds of the same feather, please don't flock together. Mix freely with others and have a nice and good time. Back to 1977, a young intern was at the crossroads of finding out what postgraduate he has to do. Maybe MD General Medicine was first choice, ophthalmology second, and then orthopedic third. He missed MD Medicine by Vishkar. He got a seat in orthopedic in Manipal. At that time, it was upcoming department, became one of the most leading department in almost India as well as in the world with a lot of subspecialties. But his mind was not all there. So he after a week he got MS Ophthalmology, which he accepted gladly, and no prizes for guessing who it was. So when I joined, Dr. C.R. Kamath was there, Dr. M.P. Shanai, Dr. Sudhir, Dr. P. Narendra was one of the first HODs, was the first HOD. And he was there as an undergraduate teacher. He retired by the time I joined as PD. Now, he was a very literate person, scholarly person with white silver hair, a very jovial person. His Kannada one-liners were always I used to enjoy. And while teaching, he will say, look at industrial keratitis in a child, he will say the Hiriyavara Papa Kiriyavara Kandali. That means translation it says, sins committed by the adults will manifest in children. This is what he has to say. Also, when there was fellowship, he will say, beer produces near good. So I don't know whether it is to take alcohol. He will say, drinking beer is like drinking water, he will say. So he no more with us, but the son, Dr. Prakash Rao, was there, has come to fill the void. Also, C.R. Kamath, all of us are familiar, excellent surgeon, very good teacher, and also clinician bar excellence. His dress sense is immaculate. He used to come every day morning at 9, sharp 9 o'clock, well dressed with polished shoes. You know, his English, impeccable English he spoke, which was a pleasure to hear all the time. And also, he, with this English capacity, he used to even make difficult topics like Amlep and other topics, make it easy so that we can all understand. But on the flip side, we made any grammar mistakes and presentation will be finished, will be gone. So this, and also once in a week, weekly twice I think, we had special, he used to see all cases. We have given a free hand in OPD, he will see once in a week, he will take class for us, he will see all the OPD cases, he will see. And any mistakes made will be taken to task with choices words in English, decent words. So this is what used to happen. And we had nice time with those days, good teaching and all. Then Dr. M.P. Shanai was the next person was there. He was also a great teacher. He was an encyclopedia. You know everything in the department as well as the outside the department. We had nice talking to him, very close friend. He has an excellent memory. He'll always say, this topic is found in that book, Greenbaum book, second shelf of that cupboard, and there it was, whatever he wanted, it was there. We listen here, Dr. Nitya is here, she's a professor at Yanapai. Then Dr. Sudhir had joined just then, fresh, the whiff of fresh air, yes. And after finishing 8 years in, I think, Father Muller. Now, he had innovative methods and all which he used to effectively teach us. He was also the surgeon who used to does complicated skin surgeries and also started detachment surgery in Menlock Hospital. He was the one who started daycare surgery in Bangalore. Thank you, sir. Then we had Dr. B.M. Rao. B.M. Rao was elusive because in the beginning, when I joined for MBBS, he was there for a short time, and then he left, he went overseas, abroad, I think. Then later on, when I joined for PG, he was not there. After my MS, when I went to Manipal as staff, I found that he already joined and moved forward overseas, so he was not in the scene. But came back in 1992, he was there with me. We had a great companionship in our Vijay Hospital and all. You must learn one thing from him. Whenever you travel with him, you will see his bag is full of hanger, nicely ironed suit. He used to have nail cutters as well as a small iron also carried. I learned, being a traveler, he knew how to travel. OPD, there is no change in structure, same 3 cubicles were there. Each cubicle had old photos on the wall. Each cubicle had one torch light and 3 bowls were there, 3 enamel bowls were there. One bowl was full of cotton, mops to clean the eye. Second bowl was full of pads to pad the eye. And the third is 3 ointment, atropine ointment, chloromycin ointment, and hydrocortisone ointment. This is what we used to manage. Most of the cases were all OPD cases, so we used to manage with this. There was this dark room. There's a table with a desk with a slanted top with the light there. I don't know why it was there, because anyway you can't, dark, you can't do anything, you can't try to write. But our professors used to keep the spectacles there when you're doing ophthalmoscopy. Maybe that used to roll down and come and stand at the edge, and they can easily pick it up and without groping for it. Or sometimes ophthalmoscopes were just kept there, that will roll down and that will come and get collected. So either was the reason it could have been there. Sutlam, the lesser I talk is better. The retinoscope was a big bull slam there, and we had the black like mirror, we used to do and learn it. And we learned quite a lot. Retinoscope is one thing which we learned. Those days there were no street retinoscope, and forget about automated refractometry. But we are managing. But retinoscopy is, I realize it is learned, not taught. Kilo ophthalmoscope was there. But what I wanted was a good ophthalmoscope, well-shallow ophthalmoscope. There are a lot of NRIs, American students who are coming here. So one of them, Richard or Ruben, somebody, I told him, why don't you get me an ophthalmoscope? He went home for the vacation and came out and fished out a new ophthalmoscope and gave it to me. I found it was a well-shallow. At the time I paid hardly, he said something dollars per head and some for the handle. It was hardly 1,500 or something. The exchange rate was also probably less. So I got it, but I found it was 110, it was American standardization. We have to charge under with 110 volts. And here with the 220 volts. So I have to go to somebody and find out electronic fellow. Those days nobody was there, and I found out. And he used to have a step-down transformer to 110 volts and charge it. It was a curious apparatus. It looks like a wooden base with all coils. It was more like physics lab apparatus where you keep the battery and it was get charged. It was working for a long time, except during retractment surgery when finally Sudhir and all they are used to do. Suddenly the light will go off after half an hour and then they will be cursing at me. I charge it, but it never got to the quality charging. So this is what used to happen. And one day, when I returned from the night show, I thought something smelling. I first looked at the door, light and all, everything, nothing was there. Finally I found the poor battery is all gone there. And with that, the misery was free. I mean, nobody, professor never will shout at me. This is what end of the ophthalmoscope. A lot of surgeries are done those days. In even 73, we had all the scales done. Detachment surgery was done, everything. We had mainly clinicals, excellent theory by Professor C.R. Kamath and Sudhir. We had also a lot of clinical discussions were there. Dissertation was limited resources. We had hypertensive retinopathy was there, and diabetic retinopathy was there. I did corneal ulcers. I did scraping and running to Dr. Ananta Krishna, professor, and then getting the microscope. Those days when I went for references, I saw very few references in the library. I borrowed them from Dr. Sudhir. One Puttanna from Karnataka was there, I was very happy. One Mopi Kulakshetra from UP was there, fine. Then the Florida, then some were there. If we had pursued that, we would have probably one of the authorities in cornea, sir. But we finished the thesis, that's all over. The typing was done not on, forget computer, it was done by one of the two people. One of them I remember was on Pinto, who was working in MRD. So he'll just dictate to him and he'll keep on typing like this from end to end. And finally it was, the spell check was no problem, nobody was there, but Professor C.R. Kamath to do the spell check. So this is all the fun we had those days. But surgery was something you will be missing, because surgery was, those days it was all, cataract was night section. We had difficulty in grappling it. Now, from CR and all, Sudhir used to do so effortlessly. What they used to do was use a after the block, fix the cornea, fix the eyeball, use your fixation, and then pass the one weft knife through the limbus as is seen in the white photograph, through the limbus, through the anterotor, cross the eye, come out to the other side, and then with 2 or 3 swipes, cut upwards. It will come. If something happens, then there is butterfly in the stomach. It will go in and then AC collapses, iris comes out, iris comes out, then you can't come out. You can't go reverse, you have to come out. And in the bargain, you will cut the iris as well as the lens also. Disaster it was. This is what it was. Anyway, after that lens was extracted by intracapsular, iridotomy was done, flap retracted, and then we used to have a cryo probe, into which we used to ICAMs. I couldn't get old photographs. Excellent. We had ICAMs in Banpal and Anamallur and also Mangalore. Rotarian P.D. Shani was one of the great organizers. He is no more with us. And we used to go 1 or 2 days and scout around for the cases, and then eyelash cutting on the eve of the camp, we used to do eyelash cutting. And what followed Prakash Rao knows he was go to the Hotel Samman and have a nice fish. Lovers will love it. Nice gourmet delight it was. So that is what we were waiting for, not just eyelash cutting. So then, of course, there was a problem. Then, of course, in the camp, we will wait till the last few cases we will get. And that only, typically I told you, the left eye would have even disastrous. You can't move with the left eye, very difficult. So we will wait for the right eye to get. So in Bangalore, I think we had Vasanth's father, Ganesh Late was a great, and he will say, Guru, come, give him get a right eye patient, he used to say. So this is what we had. But what followed was simply unbelievable. This is what you have, what you see in Asterix, isn't it? All fantastic pieces we had. Mother Bantwan. The bard, nobody was singing, nobody was there to entertain. This is what happened. Then we move on to the next phase which came. This was when TMA Rotary Hospital started. Now somewhere there is a court judgment which came, which said that KMC should have its own hospital. So they wanted to build a hospital in Attawar. Attawar was facing foundation problems. So they shifted, they had to buy one, they had to go for lease, they went to with the building, partially built for business purpose, for commercial purpose. Half-built skeleton they cannot bring to nice hospital, reasonably good hospital. That is how the TMA Rotary Hospital came there. You can see the name now, Center for Basic Science has come now. Actually, nowadays it is used for anatomy physiology because it shifted to Attawar. Now, we were anatomically given the anatomical position in the hospital because we are in the top third floor of the OPD. And if the lift fails, we had to climb up all the way or climb down. There was difficulty in that. But anyway, life was going on smoothly. In the meantime, one more thing interesting happened. Operation ISAT Universal. You must have heard of Operation ISAT Universal was one which entered into the Vijay. Already OU was giving aid to Manipal. When I went there, lecture, it was already there, well-developed department because they were providing a lot of aid. Now, how it started is very interesting. There was one Ben Gullison, doctor, physician, working in a hospital called Arogyaram Hospital at Sompeta, a coastal remote hamlet in Andhra Pradesh. Now, here we saw a lot of cases becoming blind. So he wanted to start something, a big movement which will take care of funds, take care of blindness. So with this in mind, treat blindness as the motto they started. He joined hands with Arnold Jenkins, also called as Art Jenkins. You can see him, with Dr. Manohar Rao below. Next to him is one with Art Jenkins wearing white shirt, and there was other officials also. So they came for inauguration of this. Now they started a movement called Operation ISAT Universal. They started gathering funds and giving. Initially it was cataract only. Then they started on prevention of blindness they wanted. So they also started money in that. This is what their motto was also same thing. Instead of giving fish to a person, you teach him how to catch a fish. That's how they sponsored one or two candidates, OU scholars we have from Nepal and or else other countries. They sponsored so that the education is looked after. In turn, they gave us provided all and this is the staff members. We had B.M. Rao, M.M. Kamath was there. I joined after 2 years after it started. Then of course the young times joined, later on they all joined. So we had a good gathering. Along with that we had all the machines came. That is the time when we started doing everything. Vitrectomy, detachment surgery, orbitotomies, everything. We tried reasonable success, they were all free. And ultimately, this is the golden era. We were able. This is what we achieved, and we are at the top. References were coming for lasers. That time, I think, intake of postgraduate SOAS. We have 5 professors, so we had 1 MS and 2 DO for each professor. It used to come to almost 35 PGs for 3 years. It used to come. So class was a big affair, you stay. PGD program became very regular that time. We started on seminars, journal clubs and all things started. Games, all was going on well till they asked us to shift back to Attawar, which is now well-planned hospital. And shifted to Attawar in 1996. Again, we went very late. We missed the bus and we were given a smaller room. And our neighbor, your chest department is given a bigger lung space. We are in a smaller place, instruments were difficult to keep, so we had to shift them to the ward and all. All of you know that, about that. Those were in Attawar. So, small OPD, refraction, everything, class was all done in one place. Still continuing now, but they have got a bigger place now. CMEs, the 1999 to 2004 I was HOD. We had a lot of CMEs, ORBs, had RD surgery and oculoplasty. I only did spring life surgery workshop was done. Alumni meet was held in 2014. You can see the HODs being honored there. Then we also got FFA and OCT in Manla Hospital, courtesy Manjunath Kamath through his contact. So everything was going up and up, graph was. Then came the hit, then came to my surprise. So everything was going on well. The fairy tale didn't end here. I was also having practice and all, and surgery has to be done in the hospital. Suddenly, the faculty development scheme started in 1997. They wanted somebody to come to Venlock Hospital. Before I could lift my head, Manjunath Kamath was already left. I thought everybody is going to stay, and because well-established hospital. Ajay Kamath had to leave because Professor C.R. Kamath was there with him. This is what finally took almost, I lost my practice sometimes it was depressing those days, almost 10 years. Finally, I had already applied. Finally, Girdhar Kamath jumped. Rajesh Naik went, I was the last bastion. And till after that, what happened was, Venlock was called Search Department, Attawar was called Ladies Madam Department, because they were all, it was divided, South member, men here and the ladies there. But what we didn't miss is, tomorrow we'll talk more, see more about it. 10:30 we'll always go there and have fight. What future development, what I thought, if the dean was there, would have been a little better. Because all the equipments are not modernized, everything they want from the hospital income. Difficult to get, hospital cannot generate so much income as to get newer machines. Diagnostic machines are supposed to be provided by the college, and they slowly drag their feet. This should have been done. Research paper, this will also promote what they want us to present research and paper now, which needs newer developments, which is also lacking here. So that's it. Secondly, faculties can train PGs. PGs have passed here. We are doing, that one or two places, Salem it is going on. Somebody is training on orbitotomy. You can take them and train them. Our faculties are there. Then alumni meet and also photos. This time I had struggling for a lot of photos, old photos I was struggling for it and I could not get. All vanished. I sent a message to all, nobody responded. Ultimately somehow I searched and I was able to get this, something. Alumni meet should be more in All India Conference. This is where we meet people. All we do is take a photograph, selfie, stand there and post it in the WhatsApp. It is no good. We must meet, have interaction. When we had Southern Regional Southern Regional Conference, we all met, sir, in Hotel Diana. We had a nice gathering. 10-15 people came and we had a nice gathering there. All it needs is just a meeting. It doesn't require elaborate party. When we, Hyderabad, when 2013, Hyderabad, when we went there, I wanted to have alumni meet that time because some of us were going. And I wanted to book a hotel there I almost booked it. Finally I backed up because I realized that nobody is interested. And when we went there, there was Rajesh Agarwal who could not come. He organized a get together. It was a banquet. It was nice. 10 of us sat and we had a nice get together. Other thing what is to be done is OU Manipal has a good policy. They said Babu Roy in the late he said once in 4 years you must meet like Olympics. Don't wait for 50, 70, no. Difficult to meet. So what we can do is once in 4 years we can meet. Anywhere, doesn't matter if it is in Kannur, Kerala or Tallicherry, whatever, wherever place we don't mind going. Once in a 4 days we can meet. Bombay also, no problem. No need for the conference. Have a nice day. This is what is to be done, so stay connected. This is what probably Dean would have been waiting, would have been happy to see. He will always say, in your student days, the college takes care of you. When it is alumni, later on, the alumnus will take care of the institution. So this is what the message they will be giving. This is what we were. There are some of the candidate photos. Thank you. No, somebody has instead this. I didn't want this. Anyway, thank you.
And this is taken, for all of us, it's been a journey back. I remember how Government Medical Hospital used to be when we were PGs. Many of us will remember. I particularly remember what you said. The less said about the slit lab, the better. I mean, it's hard to imagine that we actually had a PG exam without a slit lab. And I do not know what would happen today. The MCI is so tough about these things and they check the equipment and everything. Of course, no complaints about the quality of teaching and training. We were taught refraction and everything wonderfully well. So we had to cope with what was there and we managed. So we are fortunate today to be so much better equipped. PGs of today won't know how it was and how difficult it was. Which of course brings me to the point of meeting today. Of course, one thing is the alumni meet. And what has brought this department so much glory, I think, is the quality of leadership that the department has had right from its inception. And we've been very fortunate. It's been a department without rancor, without any politicking, like we've seen so many other departments. The staff has always enjoyed an excellent relationship with each other, and also with the postgraduates, I'd like to think. We have not received any real complaints about that. And compared to many other departments, I can say that the functioning has been always very harmonious. And this is largely due to the fact that our department has always been well led. The baton is passed down very smoothly. And that same culture where, I remember my father, Dr. Sneha Kamath, was the head of the department. This is how it used to be. You give postgraduates the responsibility and they would do as they pleased until a complaint came. So you allowed people, you gave them their head, as they say, so that they were allowed to function and they were taught to become doctors rather than being supervised for everything. So we as senior PGs ran the department, at least in Venlock, that's how it used to be. And when we couldn't figure out something, that's when we asked the staff. So that was an excellent grounding. Duty list, rosters, we ourselves put, and we could adjust amongst ourselves as long as there was no mess. And I thought that was an excellent grounding. One of the very few departments that has functioned that way. And therefore today now, at this moment, we would like to honor in a small way all the people who led our department, and I'd like to ask Dr. Girdhar Kamath to do this. I'm very sorry that I started without it, but there are lots of programs going on today. The pleasure, or whatever you call it, of seeing 7 deans or principals, as they were called when I was there. And without hesitation, I can see he's the most approachable of all of them. You can drop into his office anytime, have a cup of coffee. He will understand your problem, and most importantly, he will try to solve it. And that is what I really appreciate about Dr. Unnikrishnan. It's a real pleasure working with him. I'm very happy he is here this evening. And without further ado, I will ask him to please light this ceremonial lamp to inaugurate our.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, my apologies to you. I was held up in another function, which was the Diamond Jubilee of celebration of Department of Pediatrics, starting of the MD program, which we had in our sports complex, that is Marina. It was delay happened over there. That was the reason, as promised to Dr. Ajay. I told Ajay that I will be here by 7:45. I was not able to be here, half an hour. Ever charming, energetic Dr. Ajay Kamath, the head of the Department of Ophthalmology, and under his stewardship, we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee of starting of the program. Dr. Rajesh Nayak, the organizing secretary of the Golden Eye 2023. Dr. Sai Giridhar Kamath, the treasurer of the Golden Eye 2020. Treasurer means lot of money is there involved. So I can expect as the dean of a medical college that alumni will contribute to the development of the alma mater. Ever respectful Dr. C.R. Kamath sir, my esteemed teachers, gurus who are here, faculty members, colleagues who are here, students whom I might have taught during my journey of teaching at Kasturba Medical College might be here. All those present here, teaching and not teaching personnel or faculty, welcome back to your alma mater. It is your alma mater, Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, a constant unit of Manipal Academy of Higher Education. I think most of you might have done your post-graduation, not from Mahe, because Mahe was founded only 1993. Most of your degrees would have been from Mangalore University or other universities. But we are the constant unit of Mahe. It is the 6th best university, ranked best university in the country, 6th best university in the country, and the first best in the private sector, as per the national ranking NIRF. If you go back to the other ranking, international renowned ranking, QS and Times Higher Education, we are consistently in the 200, 300 bracket. And in the specialty of medicine, generally we are in the bracket of 500 to 600, but in the medicine, we are in the top. Today morning was very painful. I got up at around 5:30 with the sad news that our charming encyclopedia, Dr. Lakshman Prabhu, is not with us. I started a stay in Manipal. I started my journey very sadly from Manipal. I came down here to Mangalore. Then I did all the whatever could have been done from the college side. Then I had to go back to Manipal because tomorrow, day after tomorrow is our convocation, 31st convocation of the Mahe. There was a dress rehearsal. Then I have to come back from Manipal to Mangalore to attend the Golden Jubilee as well as the Diamond Jubilee celebration of Department of Pediatrics and Ophthalmology. How can I miss this? How can I miss the Golden Jubilee? Because these are the milestones which we achieve. Golden, it will come only once in a lifetime. Golden Jubilee can be celebrated. How can I miss? If I have to travel 100 times, then also I will travel. I will not miss the Golden Jubilee as well as Diamond Jubilee. I gave little importance to the Diamond Jubilee. You also will give more important diamond rather than gold. Correct or not? They are elder to you by 10 years. I'm so happy this year, 2023. So happy. Why I am telling you? We have already celebrated, I think, Golden Jubilee of Orthopedics, starting of the program. We have celebrated the Golden Jubilee of starting the ENT program. I am amazed. 50 years, in the last 60 years, we are running postgraduate programs in the country. How many PGs we have contributed to the society? Just imagine. I asked the pediatric department, 220 PGs have come out of the pediatric department. They say more than that. Because DCH count, they are having some issue, more than that number of, because we have contributed not only at the national level, we have contributed skilled manpower to the international also. Now we are connecting, this year was the connection with alumni. Very frankly, I will tell you, this year was fully dedicated to connecting with alumni. Why alumni don't come to the alma mater? Unless you give your hand, they will not give their hand. So what we did was, we had a national alumni meet in Delhi known as Mahamilan, KMC Mahamilan. KMC means KMC Mangalore Mahamilan, not the old KMC of Manipal and Mangalore. It is KMC Mangalore Mahamilan of only Delhi alumni and NCR alumni. I will tell you, 600 of our MBBS alumni are located in Delhi and NCR region. 600, and out of that 500 attended that program. And that was on a Sunday in Indian Habitat Center. That is the connect. After that, what I am seeing, we have WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group of KMC alumni. One WhatsApp group is filled, second WhatsApp group created. KMC Hyderabad alumni WhatsApp group is created. KMC International, now we have the data bank of 5,000 alumni in this 1 year only. They are connected with us. Now we went one step ahead. We told, now those alumni who are located in US, can you please mentor our students for USMLE? Can you please give them some electives or observership when they come to US? They wholeheartedly agreed, and mentorship program has already started. Already 120 students have been mentored by our USMLE US alumni. Those who are doing very well, they are really doing well in US. Even they are coming forward and telling that we can give you fellowship also. Similarly, what we have done, UK alumni we have got. Now UK alumni are mentoring. Our 80 students have been mentored, online mentoring program. They will start with how to fill the application, how to make the CV for the matching. How they will ask you, if you want electives, please come to us. Delhi alumni, what is happening alumni? Now I can show you the with proof. What they say, can you suggest within 1 minute to 5 minutes, I am telling you, one hand will come up. I am a KMC alumni, I practice pediatrics in this area. That is the connect, what we were missing for the long time. We were not, it is not the alumni side, alma mater did it. Now we have started interacting with alumni, and we want the alumni. I am not asking you financially, will go to the next level. Already we have gone to the next level. KMC is recognized, is renowned. We are the first public-private partnership model in the entire country, where our visionary founder, late Dr. P.M. Appai, thought about PPP model in the year 1953. Now government is discussing what PPP model, public-private partnership with the government hospitals. Now government, which our founder thought in 1953. Many of you are present here are beneficiaries of what we did. Because of that, we all got medical education at a very reputed medical college. We say, one unfinished agenda is that I want to talk about, things to tell me, we will release a postal stamp this year. From the government also, we have asked the permission to the university also. We were planning to release the stamp this year. Then I told Lakshman sir, KMC Manipal was started in 1953. Mango, we say always we started in 1955. Lakshman sir, this year we will not do it. We will do it in 2025. But Lakshman sir is not with us. But we will definitely do it. We will release a postal stamp commemorating the successful model of PPP in the year 2025. We will. Thank you very much for inviting me here. And definitely I would have missed this function. And definitely I cannot see. I told Dr. Ajay, I will be here by 7:45. He started calling me at 7:20 onwards. I am on the stage there. I am telling you 7. I cannot see. Everyone is sitting there. Okay, that is the older brother of ophthalmology pediatrics. 60 years they are celebrating. Everybody is there. How can I pick up the mobile?
It's all my fault.
Then I thought, okay, but I wouldn't have missed this important milestone and important achievement and important event. We have developed our campus everywhere. Infrastructural development is happening. I hope that you have enough time to come to the lighthouse. I have opened it. Tomorrow is a holiday for us. I don't know why third Saturday is declared a holiday for us. For us in Mahe, third Saturday is holiday. Okay, all other places second and fourth is holiday. Our third Saturday is a holiday. Tomorrow is a holiday. Even though it's a holiday, we have opened up the entire thing. Please, lecture all, please use it. Everything, buses are arranged. Everything is arranged. Please visit Venlock Hospital. Please visit the new surgical block, where now Ajay will be shifting there, ophthalmology department will be shifting, new surgical block. It looks better than any corporate hospital. New surgical block which looks better than, and now what commitment Maya is giving to the government is, we are providing all the, most of the equipment we have got sanctioned, and moreover we will be providing cath lab also in Belmont, in the surgical block. Okay, that is one side. Please visit Lady Goshen Hospital, those who have done undergraduate also here. Lady Goshen Hospital looks like a corporate hospital. I have taken many people to Lady Goshen Hospital, including Abhijat Sheikh, who is the president of NBM, the National Board of Examination. I have taken Niti Aayog people there. I have taken DME, Direct Medical Education of Karnataka. They told they have never seen a government hospital such clean that Belloc or Lady Goshen Hospital. If you have time, please visit our lab. We have a beautiful lab. Attawar Greens, do you remember Attawar Greens? That was our ground. Now that ground we have converted into lab, 5-story lab building. In that 3-story diagnostic lab, in that we have 4th installation in the country of fully automated track system by Roche. You put the sample there, cut where it has to go, without any human intervention, it will go and get your test results. We have developed a sporting infrastructure, marina, where we have indoor futsal, indoor cricket, indoor squash, indoor table tennis, gymnasium, basketball indoor, outdoor basketball, outdoor greens have not gone. Just then the change of place of green from Attawar, it has gone to Capri Gutta. That's all. Please visit Capri Gutta. I think lunch is arranged in Capri Gutta.
In the college. In the college.
In the college, lunch is arranged. We visit Capri Gutta. Those who have stayed in Nandagiri, please go and visit Nandagiri also. Okay, Nandagiri is not changed much. We will change it in another maybe 1 or 2 years. But Capri Gutta, we are renovating it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I really cherish this moment. Thank you.
And as always, you plug KMC so well and you made it sound better than it is. And the journey ahead looks very good. Thank you very much for your presence. Please have a seat. And I'd like to present a small memento. Party, and I request Giri to proceed with honoring the.
There is the honoring of the former heads of the department. Our first head of the department was Dr. P. Narayan Rao. He was the head of the department from 1973 to 78. Here we have his illustrious son, Dr. Prakash Rao, our own alumni. Sir, please come. Dr. Ajay to do the HOD from 1978 to 1995. Head was Dr. M.P. Shanai, who was there from 1995 to 1997. I request his daughter, Dr. Vidya Hegde, to please come. Thank you. Sir was the HOD from 1997 to 1999. Sir said he couldn't come here because of health reasons. So we went yesterday and honored him in his house. So next is our own Dr. Gurudas Kamath. Who was from 2004 to 2005. Thank you, sir. Now we have the next one was Dr. Manjunath Kamath from 2005 to 2009. Next was Dr. Subhana. She couldn't be here. She was actually from 2011 to 2016. Then the past former HOD was Shobha Pai from 2016 to 2020. She's also in Chennai. She has expressed her inability to come. Thank you, one and all.
And on behalf of all the heads of the department, I'd like to ask Dr. Sudhir to just speak a few words.
Respected Dean, Government College, Senior Professor Dr. C.R. Kamath, my fellow faculty members, and the alumni, past and present students. I'm extremely happy to be here. It's, as Dean said, once in a lifetime occasion. And the most important is your presence. Our past students who are now all well-grown ophthalmologists who have come up from far places to make it a success. Well, most of the things have been spoken by previous speakers about the department. I would only say about our postgraduates, all of you gave us respect and love to all of us without exception. The bond was very strong, and interaction between staff members and students, and we had a nice time with you. And definitely your presence, your association with us has improved our capabilities in life, all round. It's not only teaching or subject, but I'm sure at least working in Kasturba Medical College has made me a better person. But the most surprising thing which I got from a postgraduate was when I retired. Ajay penned down a few lines about his analysis of Dr. Sanjeev. If you have some patience, I would read that, not because I deserved it. I just want to appreciate, no, I want to read that. Because everything else has been said. I want to tell them your generosity, with your permission,
Definitely, it's all yours.
and a wonderful poetry. How much it applies to me, I don't know, but this has given me a direction in my life, how to go about in the years after retirement. He wakes up with a smile each morning and retains it through the day. In rain or shine, the smiling place will never waver, come what may. Okay, I may be there in that. In the theatre, the knife cuts smooth. With sure touch, his skills will heal. As teacher, he has an easy flow. For medicine, he has a feel. I don't know how much I deserve that. I think I could have done better, at least in my teaching capabilities. I couldn't do it because of the next para. The clink of the glass, the chatter of friends, genial host, he loves his fun. And the greatest quality of them all, he bears malice towards none. We both of us are in this paragraph. The last one, of course, he looks back fondly upon his life. At the rat race he never ran. Let rain or joyous toast to me in essence of gentleman. And this applies to all the staff members in the department. Right from Dr. C.R. Kamath, we had a wonderful relationship, a family get-together like. In camps, we used to work in a single team spirit, and that exposure, has given and handling large volume work with minimum facilities. When Gurudev Kamath said, let's not talk about street lamp, but we have made students to treat a patient, maybe totally, I wouldn't say 100% success, but at least to advise them rightly to go further if required, or we have treated them quite efficiently in Venlock Hospital, and the camp exposure exceptionally good for all of us, having fun, and the valedictory address 2 camps in a year for nearly 20 years. Each valedictory address was worth remembering, those who attended, and it was given none other than our Professor C.R. Kamath. I can stand and speak a few words, but a continuous exposure associating with a person who is good in the subject, or surgeon, or public speaking, good in English, a very versatile man. You don't know his other qualities. He has a good voice and he could sing well, dance. And not only that, he was very good in playing a role in a plays on the stage. I'll tell you one instance. Kasturba Medical College used to celebrate each year Ganesh Chaturthi with a cultural event in town. And there used to be an event called staff drama, which I used to attend even before I joined the college. And in every staff drama, Dr. C.R. Kamath was there. And the dialogue was spontaneous, script. They hardly had a time to practice. Prakash Rao's father also has acted in the dramas. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. M. Srinivasan, Mani's father, I remember acting on the stage with such comfortable effort, and they would entertain the entire crowd. That's, I would say, a quality of kings. Last but not the least, 5 minutes are over, I think, Ajay. But my sincere good wishes to all of you to exactly follow this poetry written by Ajay and be satisfied with whatever you are doing. Put your effort to do better things in life, not only professionally, otherwise, be a happy person with your family, with children, and have a nice time. Thank you.
You could have done more. I think you've done wonderfully and given me at least a lot of direction of how not to strain too much and have a happy life. And that I think many of the PGs also appreciate. Now from the postgraduate side, I just asked a couple of people to speak for 2 minutes. Dr. Prakash Rao, would you like to say a few words? Just to look at things from this side, how it was being a student here.
Now, my name is Dr. Prakash Rao. I'm the son of Dr. Narayan Rao, who was the HOD, first HOD of the department. I joined the department in 1980 and passed in the year 1983. I think seeing all the young faces here, I feel many of you were not even born, or most of you were just a thought in your parents' mind when I passed out. So, when I joined the department in 1980, there's a tradition in the department, I'm sure it is there even now, of the people who are passing out, of giving dinner for all the other postgraduates. At that time, my dad had retired from the department, but he was still being invited for the function. I had a dilemma. I knew that liquor is going to be served. This is in 1980. The family was traditional and all that. So I didn't know whether I could drink or not. But my professor C.R. Kamath solved the problem very easily. First meeting, as soon as the party was starting, he called my dad, "Sir, Prakash Kudiboga." I said, "Yes, so after that I got the license and I was inculcated into the department. So thank you, sir, for that. Another couple of incidents I just want to recollect. Once, I think Dr. C.R. Kamath, some well-known patient or relative or somebody, old lady had passed away and had donated her eyes. We were not a corneal grafting department at that time. Sir called me in the morning and said, "We'll go and collect the eye, we'll harvest the eye." I was thrilled, young postgraduate, so I think it was obvious in my demeanor, my thrill and all that. So sir took me in his car, and before we got down, he said, "You don't talk there. Whatever talking I'll only do. You just follow what I do." We went inside. Of course, it was the death that happened in the family. The children were all very sad and all that. So I could not show my happiness because sir had clearly told, I was happy because I could do something, which was unexpected. Then we managed to, this thing, sir very easily enucleated the eyes. One of the eye, the cornea was sloughed. The other one, it was looking quite healthy. So one of the sons asked me, sir, is this going to be used? I said, please ask Dr. C.R. Kamath. I'm not going to tell anything. So sir said, yes, 2 people will get the vision. So then I think we constructively used those eyes. I learned a very good lesson. One is the grace of the department head. And second thing is how to behave with the patient. These life hacks, I think, given by the teacher to the student, makes a good teacher great. Teaching surgery, teaching the theory and all that, anybody can do. But these life hacks are important. There's one more incident I want to tell you. I was in my final year MS. I had finished my DO, so I was a qualified ophthalmologist. There were some 6 of us postgraduates at that time. For some reason, all 3 of my teachers, Dr. C.R. Kamath, Dr. Sujit and Dr. N.P. Shenoy, were going to Delhi for a conference, probably All India Ophthalmic, I suppose. So I was made in charge of the department. I was extremely happy for the first time. And before going, Dr. Kamath had called all the students and told, Prakash is the ultimate. When I am not here, whatever he says goes. Nobody else should, because there were some other rebels who would have, otherwise opposed. So all the 3 of them went and I was in charge. As luck would have it, daily we were getting a operating injury. Some of them were quite alright, simple, and I used to repair. Daily evening I used to post on the general anesthesia and repair the surgery. I do the repair. My anesthetic PG colleagues were cursing me. What is this? Ophthalmology was never posting cases at this time, you are doing it daily. We did well for the first 4 or 5 days. Then on the last day, we had a perforating injury, which was very bad. The eyeball had collapsed, everything had come out. Theory, I knew that there was no PL, nothing could be done. So I eviscerated, did a reasonably good job, and I thought I had done well. Then everything was over, sir, they all came back, I told the report, everything. Things were okay. Few days later, Dr. C.R. Kamath called me and said, see, this patient, what was done and what was the situation? I said, sir, this had happened. Then he said, see, one thing you remember, for a youngster, he was a young patient, about 20 or something, losing an eye is a terrible thing. As a rule, you always repair. You do not, straight away remove, because the trauma is too much to bear for such a person. Then I thought about it, and that particular teaching has held me in good stead for many, many years. When I was a consultant in Sagar Hospital in Bangalore, tertiary case department, we used to get a lot of perforating injuries, and then after that I never enucleated or eviscerated an eye. Always I used to repair, because the trauma of removal, you cannot undo it. So these kind of life hacks, thanks sir for giving it. I really appreciate it. Dr. Sujir gave me bravery. Like Gurudat mentioned, he was the one who used to do daycare surgery at that time. Now all of us do it. I mean, you might think what is there in that. But that was the time when we used to admit patients for 7 days, 5 days, or at least 3 days after surgery, keep him there, patch up the eyes, both eyes. So he was doing daycare surgery at that time. I have assisted many surgeries like that. And second thing, I assisted him for one of the first intraocular surgeries, implantation. I have seen Dr. Sujit doing it. There was something called as a Sputnik lens. Sir is laughing. Yeah. So I have seen him implanting that. Thank you, sir, for being kind and generous in this. Like Gurudat mentioned, Dr. N.P. Shenoy was a very genial person, extremely good, and anything you ask, he used to say, it's there in that book, you read. So I thank all my teachers. I include Gurudat Kamath also in this, because as a senior PG, he was a mentor and a guide. He did help me learn so many things. I leave you, I had promised Giri I won't talk for more than 2 minutes. I think I'm well within the time limit. I'll leave you with a shloka which is usually told in Guru Purnima. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmaye Shri Guruve Namaha. I thank all my teachers. We are what we are because of our teachers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
At times very funny and irritating words, Dr. Prakash Rao. It was a pleasure listening to you. Dr. Subhashri is here. For a brisk 2 minutes. On this side of the department, I mean this was the 70s and the 80s. Tell us about
I think it's very hard to beat that speech which just came from Sir, but I'll definitely attempt to at least tell you what it was like for us. So I did my post-graduation from 2009 and passed out in 2012. So first I would like to thank Dr. Ajay and Dr. Giri Sir and Dr. Rajesh Sir for giving us this opportunity. And so it started for us, I think 2009, I remember all my co-PGs all huddled up in, I think we all met in KMC Atawar and we were all asked to sit in the room, the Atawar OPD. And we're sitting there and we're waiting and all of us are really nervous and it's that big question. So we'd already spoken to our seniors and they said, there's this big decision. You know, we're going to know if you're going to go first to, there are 2 postings and one of them is in Wenlock and one of them is in Atawar and they're 2 different hospitals. And we'd already heard that one was the so-called cool, you know, posting and the other not so cool. You know, no offense to Atawar at all, but, you know, and so we're already apprehensive and you're wondering where are you going to go. And anyway, to cut the suspense, I mean, I started with the so-called cool Wenlock, and it is true because I think Wenlock really helped break that myth that PG is going to be really stressful, because each and every one of our teachers over there really helped us not be nervous, to be ourselves, and it really was the cool you know, posting. So I really thank each one of our teachers over there. And you know, just one word to describe each one of them, obviously may not be enough, but I think Gurudutt Sir for us was that fountain of knowledge, always there to teach us. There was Manjunath Sir, who was, you know, super fast, absolutely, you know, fast with his teaching, fast surgeries, crystal clear corneas. And I remember Sir always showing me this one patient and he's like, tell me which eye we operated. He's like, just look at it and tell me which one. I'm like, I can't tell, they both look the same. You know, but that's Manjunath Sir for us. And the always charismatic Ajay Sir with his wit and, you know, I mean, I don't want to describe the sarcastic, you know, comments that we've heard, but I mean, I think Sir was like extremely witty, and there was always Rajesh Sir, the most, you know, affable of them, you know, approachable for us. And Susan ma'am was always there, you know, that bridge between like the seniors and, you know, us postgraduates. So anytime we needed permission for anything, there was always Susan ma'am. Ma'am, do you think we can do this? Do you think we can do that? And then ma'am would go and, you know, pass it on to, you know, us, our, you know, senior staff, MGK sir and MMT sir. Yes, so that was, for us, that was Wenlock. And I think Wenlock taught us to be independent clinicians who took responsibility for our clinical decisions. And I think I heard that a couple of times as well. I think that's really important for the postgraduates, that there's not someone watching you like a hawk. Instead, you know, they trust you enough to make the right decisions, and they're always there when you're going to falter. And you can always call up and say, I'm not sure, there's this corneal tear, what do you think I should do? You know, and I think that's what Wenlock did for us. Thank you so much, sirs. Now, Atawar, I mean, I know it didn't start off well when I said the not so cool, but I think in retrospect you understand what Atawar, you know, helped us with. I think that gave us the actual feel of what a corporate hospital would be like. So I think it taught us, you know, meticulous clinical workup, little different from the way it was for us in Wenlock, but I still think that, you know, it did teach us. So we had, I mean, during my time I had Dr. Samna ma'am. I think she I would describe her as like the iron fist who kind of ruled Atawar for us. That was ma'am. And there was the ever radiant Shobha ma'am, who was always extremely kind and, you know, a very, very generous person. And then there was Anupama ma'am. It's a pity that no one, you know, from Atawar is there right now. But Anupama ma'am, who is the perfectionist, had a certain way of doing things, and I think that has really helped me, at least when I think back. She had a way to do things, and it was the right way. Yes, I mean, I think I'll just end it here. I think everyone's waiting to get to dinner. Thank you so much. I would like to say that I think everything that I am, everything that all of us are, I think I speak on behalf of all my seniors and my juniors and my batchmates. Some of them who are not here. I think everything that we are is because of our teachers, and we thank each and every one of you for everything that you have for us. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we wind up, a small vote of thanks by Dr. Rajesh Naik is ready. But just a reminder, tomorrow morning there's a breakfast at 9 a.m. at Hotel Taj Mahal. There will be a bus that is ready here at 8:45 to take anybody who is staying here. It's a pickup point. Anybody else who wants to join from here can come here. 8:45 a.m. A bus will be ready to pick you up. We will meet at Hotel Taj Mahal and have a traditional breakfast and carry on. Over to Dr. Rajesh.
Esteemed Institute, the Department of Ophthalmic Games, and to express my heartfelt thanks. I would like to start by thanking our Dean, Dr. Unni Krishnan sir, and entire my team for their wholehearted support in making this golden day. My sincere thanks to all previous teachers, Dr. Sir Kama, Dr. Sudhi sir, Dr. Manjunath sir, Dr. Gurdas sir, for all your good wishes for the success of this function. Ajay sir, this event was not possible unless you would have been a guiding force, and here it is he who gave the golden man. So thank you very much, sir. Dr. Sai Girda Kamath, our distinguished alumni, a very computer savvy. I appreciate your help for all the difficulty we had in banking formalities and making your registration user friendly. On this before, I asked our HOD to give me a small moment of honor. It was indeed a pleasure to see you all, the alumni, gathered here from not only India, from different parts of the world. It was your participation and enthusiasm which has made this event a memorable one. Last but not the least, I thank to all my colleagues of the department and postgraduates and the supporting staff, Mr. Radish, for all your cooperation. Thank you once again. Hope you have a good stay in Mangalore and remember this event for long.